Alright, so the Justice League trailer has officially been released through Comic-Con, which is probably the biggest surprise I've seen so far through Comic-Con. There have been a ton of trailers. I thought this is probably the one I wanted to do a review on first because it's Justice League and it's like there's some other stuff. There's Wonder Woman, and we got new Doctor Strange stuff, and we got the new Justice League cartoon, which looks pretty cool too. Everything's looking pretty good, and I want to start with this because it's like I said, it's the big one. It's Justice League. It is the Justice League. Maybe not everybody, because who knows what they're doing with the Superman stuff. Slight spoilers. I'm just gonna do this at the very beginning, but for Batman v Superman, just to get that out of the way, Superman dies, of course. So I want to talk about that because obviously you would need to have seen the last movie, even though it sucked. As far as I'm concerned, you guys might disagree, but I just hated that movie. You had to have seen Batman v Superman to understand, like, where's Superman and stuff. And maybe he'll be in there, who knows. That was one of the big things. And that's still coming out, and it's the end of next year. So it's still going to be, you know, Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman, and then Justice League right after. So we're doing that, and then jumping back, and then jumping to Justice League. So there's still the huge question of, is Superman going to be brought back in this movie? Which was the huge thing where it's like, okay, well, I hope, because when the movie came out and all the issues it had, one of the biggest things was, well, they killed off Superman super early, and the whole point of the movie was like, we're starting up the Justice League soon. So it's like, did they really? I mean, they screwed up in general because they killed him off so early in this, expanded universe. But are they just gonna do it where they killed him super early and they bring him back? It was technically in the next movie, timeline wise, and that was my exact thing. Where it was like, I hope they don't kill him and then just bring him back in the next movie because even though we have Wonder Woman in between, obviously that's set during World War One, so it's basically Wonder Woman, BVS, and then Justice League right after, and it's like, oh, he's back to life. And that, they could say, oh, it's been however long, it's taken a while for Bruce to find all these different heroes and, Diana to, find these people and where they are and all that stuff. But it's still the very next movie, so it's kind of like, as cool as it would be to have all the characters, and it seems like they aren't doing the part one, part two thing anymore. It seems like this is just it. They might do a second one and just call it something else with its own subtitle. But I'm kind of hoping they don't put him in just because it's like, well, if you killed him off, at least make us wait a little bit. Because they did the thing at the end of the movie where they show, like, oh, the rocks were floating. I kind of wish they didn't do that because it's like, well, everyone knows he's coming back. At least don't make it super obvious because it's Superman. You're not going to kill him permanently, but don't make it super obvious. So we know he's coming back even more now, I guess. I mean, I don't know who would have thought Superman was dead permanently anyway, but we know he's coming back, and it seems like it would be sooner rather than later because they already had the floaty rock thing, so it's like, oh, he's basically already healed. How much more time does he really need? So that's the big question as to how they're going to do it. And like I said, they could still do Justice League 1 and then a second Justice League movie and stuff like that. So we'll have to see how all that plays out. But as far as the trailer is concerned, I thought it was actually pretty cool. It was a nice, simple trailer. It was way longer than I would have expected because if I heard, like, beforehand, like, oh, there's going to be some Justice League stuff, I would have thought, oh, cool, we're going to get, like, a typical first trailer, which is, like, the 30-second teaser thing, and it's like, oh, it'll pan over some logos and some parts of costumes and then say Justice League, and it's like, nope, here's, like, a minute and a half long trailer, almost 2 minutes, and here's, like, pretty much everybody, and it was very surprising, so I was super excited about that in general. That's great job on that. I'm sure we'll get, way more footage because we still have basically a full year before the movie's even out. So of course we'll have more trailers and a bit more news. But I thought it looked good. We got to see all the characters. We got Batman going around getting everybody. We got to see him go up to Aquaman, who of course looks super badass in this version compared to, what everyone typically thinks about Aquaman. It's like, oh, Aquaman kind of sucks. But if you look at stuff, Aquaman's super awesome. Like, at this point, I don't think anyone, it's still there because it happened for a long time, but the old school Aquaman with the mullet and that super crappy old game that he had, and the hook hand and stuff, they've kind of gotten rid of that, and we've got way cooler versions. We have, especially if you watch the New 52 animated movies, what they did with the Justice League was really great, and the whole second movie was about Aquaman and him joining the Justice League and his war with his own people and their war with humans and stuff like that. So they made him super badass, and they're doing the shark thing like crazy all the freaking time. If you play Injustice, the second trailer for Injustice, he's doing like some Sharknado stuff where it's like a mutated shark mutant thingy. So they keep doing that, and it's great every freaking time. Every time he brings a shark out of the water to kill somebody, I'm like, that's sweet. So I hope we get that in the movie. I know people want like Kraken and stuff like that, but all he's got to do is just like how they have the scene where all the waves basically is like, why don't you stand here, look cool, we'll just do slow motion with a bunch of waves coming over you. I bet he fell, and like it looks awesome during that scene, but I'm sure by the time that water hit, he like the scene would end. If they kept going, he'd be on the ground like, whew, that's a lot of water. But in slow motion where he's still standing up, looks super cool. He's just drinking in public. I'm pretty sure he was about to throw that bottle, but they like cut right before that. But it made him look cool. I hope he summons a shark at some point in this movie to just eat somebody. It could be a minor character, but it tends to be like, that's like the epic thing, is like he's fighting like one of the big bosses or somebody, and then they're in the water, and boom, a shark comes out, and it's just like, boom, like that's all we need to see is a freaking shark come out of the water and eat somebody. Just giant wide shot shark straight in the middle and just eat somebody out of the air. So that I hope we get in the movie, because that would be freaking sweet. But he looks cool. Flash looks cool. Of course, huge comparisons, because we have, of course, the Flash TV show, and now we have the new version of the Flash. And I like what they did, and it's very interesting because the way they have it is Barry seems to be much younger than the rest of the group, and even though most of my experience with Flash comes from Justice League, which is technically Wally West, which I didn't know forever until recently, honestly. I always just assumed that was Barry. But, that was Wally, so technically he was younger, but Barry's kind of like, generally speaking, he's typically around the same age at least, so he seems like he'll be like really the youngest person. Even Cyborg seems older than him, and his whole thing is always, he's the teenager, playing football and stuff like that. So maybe they'll just do it where he's in college instead of high school, like Teen Titans type stuff. But I thought that was interesting that Barry's actually going to be like the youngest member of the team, and they made him where it's kind of like he's a bit socially awkward, which I thought was kind of interesting. But the way they displayed his powers, I thought looked really great. Like I love how they do it in the show, and I was curious. I was like, because it looks great in the show, and there are a couple other super speed things, and it's like, we have the Flash in the show. We have, if you watch the X-Men movies, we have Quicksilver, and they make him look super awesome when he's running, and it's like they kind of got a couple of different things they got to deal with for the movie, and then they show him, and it was super simple. All he has a batarang thrown at him, and he just dodges it. And then it's just lightning like shooting off around him. I was like, that actually looks super cool. It's very simple, and we got to see it in normal speed as well, where he sees something and he dodges it. And it's like blue lightning. It's not the yellow lightning, which kind of, I'm sure, affects certain people. As far as I always like blue lightning more, so I'm kind of like, even if it's technically different than the comic color, I kind of don't care, because I've always been a sucker for just like blue lightning. I always thought that looked cooler. So I thought it was awesome, and it's like, he did this to dodge a batarang, and it's like, it looks like he's about to trip and fall into another dimension or something. So I was like, that looks freaking sweet as far as I'm concerned. He's just standing and looking at a batarang and looking at Bruce like, oh, this is Batman. And it's just lightning shooting off and crap in slow motion. And I just thought that looked great. I was like, that's actually very cool. And it's so simple. And it's not like he has to do a lot. It was just he moved to the right, I think, to dodge this thing. Like, didn't even dodge it. He kind of just turned. And there's just lightning like shooting off all over the place behind him. I'm like, that's pretty sweet, actually. Like, he's not even doing anything special, and it's just like, it's lightning shooting off. And what I liked about it is that when you see that scene compared to the scene where it's in normal motion, where he's moving super fast, you see like the lightning shoots off a lot during that slow motion scene. But when you see it in normal motion, it's like boom, it's like lightning shooting off, and you basically see one little strand, and then it's done. But when you see it in the slow motion version, you see that there's a ton of lightning coming off of him as he taps into the Speed Force. So I thought that looked really cool. We didn't get to see much of Wonder Woman. We got to see her shield. Still doesn't have too much on it. Still kind of a fairly plain shield, and I think that's fine. I think what they've done is kind of strayed away a little bit from kind of the old school style, and I don't mind it. I do kind of wish it was the old just WW on it, but that might. They probably won't actually end up doing that. but she's got different versions of her shield anyway, so they could kind of do whatever they want. I think this one is different from the one she has in Batman v Superman. Actually, it looks a little bit different to me, but I didn't really pay too much attention when it was in the other movie. I wasn't thinking about like, oh, what does her shield look like? I already knew it wasn't like just the typical comic book style. But there, I think it's like slight variations on it. I think the colors are a little bit different, and I think she has a different one in her own movie as well. So this might be like the third shield that she's had. But it was fine, it looked simple. We got to see a little bit of Cyborg. That was like, of course, the one thing missing from the whole trailer was seeing much about Cyborg. It was like, here's Cyborg in a jacket, and then here's Cyborg as Cyborg. So that kind of sucked. We didn't get a lot of him, but of course it's the first trailer, and we technically still don't even know who the villain's going to be, although everything kind of points to, if you saw Batman v Superman, it all points to like one person. But we'll have to wait and see still. But I thought this was a fine trailer. I do wish we got, honestly, the only thing was that I wish we got to see more of Cyborg. Personally, I didn't really like how he looked, to be totally honest, and I think it was because I didn't like the fact that it was all CG, basically, because I was kind of surprised by that. I thought it would actually be a person, to be totally honest, but because it kind of looks weird to me. And also, because I'm used to like Teen Titans, and even if you played Injustice, I'm used to him being much bulkier, so it surprised me because he looks so skinny. He looks skinny in general, even if like the 2 seconds he's walking, in the jacket, he's not like, really big, and he's, like this big football player. That's kind of his thing. So it kind of looked weird to me when they did like the CG version. I was like, he looks too skinny to me, which I thought was the weirdest thing that's what I picked up on. But even, like I said, the New 52 Justice League movies and stuff like that, if you watch him, he is kind of like he is in the older stuff, like, Teen Titans and pretty much every version of him. He is a bit bulkier, and not, even people hate this, but Teen Titans Go is kind of the same thing, even though the animation is totally weird. But you can tell he's just bulkier, and it just seemed weird to me. I was like, he just looks too skinny, and that's kind of like my one gripe with his design. And I still, it just looks weird to me because it's so much CG, and then it's like half his face or like a third of his face is like actually there because he's got the eye. So it's like a third of his face is real. And of course it's super early too, so sometimes, we see stuff CG wise and it's super early. So it could look different, but I'm sure they're going to change the whole design. And so as of now, to me at least, he just looks too skinny. That's like my one gripe about it. And it looks weird that it's all CG because I really didn't think it was going to be 100% CG, and I think it would have been really cool. And it probably would have been super tough to do it, especially considering how they made him look, if they wanted to do that 100%. And because it's all CG, it makes me wonder where they're going to go with the possibilities, because especially with how they've done it, where it's boom tube based, there's a lot of cool looking changes and stuff that he has compared to if you go back to like Teen Titans and stuff. Those were real simple changes. He was just like, oh, I'm just like a robot and I take parts off of me and stuff like that, and little things change, and my hand can change. But with the boom tube stuff, he changes and it's insane. So I understand why they went CG, and I'm at least hoping that's why they went full CG, because they're gonna do like the really crazy changes where he's like growing all sorts of stuff, and it's like he's creating things almost to fit the situation that he's in. So I'm guessing that's why they went full CG with it, to just be like, he's gonna go all out and be making crazy giant cannons and stuff that should be impossible, but it's like just forming on him out of nowhere. So I'm guessing that's why they went full CG, but I'm looking forward to that, and just getting more in general on him, because we really got the least about him and kind of where they're playing it, because clearly they're going to do a lot of backstory stuff, and we'll just have to see how that plays out. I mean, there's a lot of different characters to introduce all at once, and I'm sure it can work, and maybe they'll go the route of kind of the most recent Spider-Man, where it's like, hey, you know who this guy is, you don't need to know everything. I mean, Cyborg and Aquaman probably need their own thing, but I think everyone's fine with Flash, especially since we got the recent series. And Wonder Woman, of course, has her own movie. And we got Batman, even though we didn't even need that, obviously, in the last movie, but we've gotten Batman a billion times, just like Spider-Man. So, they kind of only need really to focus on Aquaman and Cyborg as far as backstories. I think everyone will be fine. Even if you don't watch the Flash show, I think enough people know Barry's thing is from an experiment. I don't know, I didn't even think about that until just now, but they might change some stuff up. I'm sure they will. Who knows? We'll see. But I enjoyed the trailer. I actually thought it was good. Always love White Stripes because that was the song that was in there. So I was surprised to hear that too. I was like, oh, they put White Stripes in there. So they're using White Stripes. Battlefield 1 is using White Stripes. But good music. I always like that song. And I'm actually excited. I was pleasantly surprised by what we got to see from the Justice League trailer. But of course, I want to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And of course, with this being the very, very first trailer, so much speculation left up to us, so many things that we want to see. So I want to know, as far as, you know, what we've gotten from this trailer and what you could probably predict a little bit from the Batman v Superman stuff. I want to know what you guys are expecting. Will we see Superman in this one? Do you care if we see Superman in this one? What do you want to see most from the next trailer? Like I said, for me personally, I want to see more of Cyborg just because we got like the 2 glances at him. And we didn't get much of Aquaman either. It was really just he helps these people in the town. And I guess they know who he is. So it makes me wonder exactly if he's already king right now or if they're going to do the prince role and then all that stuff. And I'm assuming, based on how they have it set up, seems like he's kind of already king because he's kind of going from the sea to this place and stuff like that. And of course they did like, oh, he comes in on the king tide. That could just, I don't know. But I'd like to see most, you know, with the next trailer, I want to see more Cyborg and maybe a little bit more, you know, of Aquaman. We just got like, you know, all the cool tattoos and stuff like that. And Jason Momoa just going around, possibly littering and just standing and looking cool. So I'd like to see more of Atlantis and what we're going to see about that, and more on Cyborg. And, you know, I'd love to see more in general, but those are my 2. But I'd love to know what you guys would like to see the most from the next trailer. And of course, like I said, what your expectations are, predictions are, you know, Batman v Superman stuff that we got in there, and, you know, what little really we got from this trailer. So please comment below, let me know, and of course, thanks for watching.